What is good, gamers? It's time for episode 11 of Phoenix Wright video game. I gotta fix my chair.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. My back's itchy. We did what we had to do. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he's deserved. So yeah, that was crazy. They really just admitted they were forging evidence.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
Dude, that's fucked up. Did they actually use her as bait? Nah, you need to talk.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together when she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man burst into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then...
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture into my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture?
I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Oh! What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Dude.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma, you've been through so much. Dude, that's fucked up. Dude.
I couldn't bring to myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago. You must have been 14. They said that she's not 16. She was 13, bro. That's understandable.
Once it was over, I made up my mind. I decided when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I wanted to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but why was he being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course, this happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why'd he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? The fuck are you talking about? She was in law school. Why was she a detective? None of that makes any sense.
After the Joe Dart case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective. What? That doesn't make... You can't just, like, keep flopping around everyone's job descriptions. Like, it was kind of making sense until now.
Lana!
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. I need to, like, fuck with this again. If I would just scooch over a bit. Ugh. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we?
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. Now the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case was largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well. I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall could be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, okay, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together.
Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're a chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned to become a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was
to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right?
Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about the investigation. 2 years ago. Okay, bet.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office.
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Gant and myself. That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run for the scene then, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to the office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies?
Prosecutor Marshall,
the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma and carried her out of the room and just held her. I can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through, though. Yeah, that's crazy. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in the incident, just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case might not just be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police station, right? Yes, in the office that Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The Chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. I mean, shit, let's go. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere.
Things seem kind of quiet around here today.
You're right, the chief of detectives seems the same, though.
Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to?
Right, we can come back here later. Oh shit. Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck would run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. Say, where you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But, Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Well, the prospectors head west. If there was ever a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Yeah, let's talk to him real quick. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon, you mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, the possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind.
We'll ask about that in a second. I got the looks, but he got the brains. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that day. The highest honor? You mean King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have been really close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him. If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They.
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Investigation lead Damon Gant and his second-in-command Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. The case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentioned it, Emma said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret's too well guarded. I never found out. Not a secret, it all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. Someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Damn, they really leave us in silence, bro. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. No one's here, not even Miss Starr.
Everyone's probably busy looking into exactly what happened out of the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. I don't think there's anything here. I think I just need to go to the High Prosecutor's office, maybe?
Mr. Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
He'll have to come back later. I don't know where the fuck to go. Oh, it's here, okay. The place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
If you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Thanks.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there is more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word people usually use for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Yeah, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Fucking idiot. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
Alright, bro. My voice is definitely fucked, though. Oh my god. Oh, but this is it, though. This is what I was talking about. This place is so cool. This is a location I didn't want to spoil. The chief's office is so fucking cool. Look at that fucking huge-ass organ, dude. Whoa, where am I?
In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I never could remember where C was.
Oh, I can't do this right now. Give me a second.
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, righto. Have you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Oh, the sword. There's a sword. Interesting. And it's a broken tip sword, is that right?
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend.
Fuck, I really needed a break to get through that one, dude.
Looks like we aren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there.
You mean like a clue?
There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. It'd be good fucking luck figuring it out. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Oh my fucking god. Edgeworth, no, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. Sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. They falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes.
But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye's the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor's responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this,
Are there really so many people who hate him?
in our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth is not only that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies.
Hey, Dick, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir!
Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My tweet. Yes, sir! You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir! Seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyways, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth might just crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier, while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl. That some girl was Emma.
Me.
Chief Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what is it?
Oh, well, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? The power of recollection never fails to impress. Maybe we should show him the...
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Well, let me do this first. Oh, he was 42, busy. Yo, Yoshikage Kira? Alright, dog. One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car, so it was an accident?
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
God, I'm not pressing the button, dude. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him. Oh, it's going on its own. Oh. Oh, there wasn't a single shred of evidence, so he turned himself in. Yeah, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. Yeah, Emma, bro. Should I show the murder weapon? The knife? Oh, about this. Hey, is that? Has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, the knife's been locked away in a locker. I just gotta, like, get the fucking shit loose enough. Oh, I need a fucking drink, dude. These voices are killing me. Fucking putting Gumshoe and Gantz back to back is insane.
I'm the day Detective Goodman was murdered, they suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it! Now I remember what the incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what was it, Detective? Quick, before you forget it, Cat.
This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? Oh my god. That's right. We trace it back to the store he bought it at. Plus it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where the broken tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep within a stab wound.
Did it match?
Did it match Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Huh. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? So Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered?
The chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with a breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oh.
So in other words, Gumshoe's early chance of getting into that office.
I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
I have a handful of ideas as to what we could show him. I want to say the jar? I think I've seen it somewhere before. Somewhere. Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? I don't have anything that would really help though. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Screwdriver maybe? No. I have no idea. Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors award Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal, I got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Damn, he still forgot, bro. I gotta do something to convince him. I just don't know what. I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. I think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal.
You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth?
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal. A pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose. Okay, but Lana forged evidence. Alright, let's keep going, I guess.
You know Officer Marshall?
Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus.
Really?
He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles.
Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus.
Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? No locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker.
Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, Detective?
Shh! They come to arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you? If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgeworth. It's gotta be something. God, I did not mean to click that. You know what I mean? Like, clearly there's something in a... Oh, a lost item report, huh?
Very impressive, Detective. You knew what it was right off the bat.
Well, I'm a master of misplacement, you know.
Master, that is such a cool ring to it.
The way I see it, if things are meant to be lost, then they're meant to be lost. There's a higher power at work here.
Wow, a higher power.
Maybe I shouldn't let Emma hold the evidence. I showed him that already. Hey, that powder's used for detecting fingerprints.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth gave it to us.
He did what? All I have is some flour. You okay, detective? Quick, run! If it's any help, one time I took a nap on the bench with wet paint. Okay. Surely... Oh, there's one number left to investigate at 4:20 p.m. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive office number. 7777777. That's one too many sevens, Detective. An executive officer, Might just have a hunch. That doesn't really help, though. I mean, I'll keep, like, presenting shit. But I don't... I already did that. I'm trying to, like, figure... What could it possibly be? Because last time that happened, where I, like, checked the thing a million times, and nothing fucking came of it. I don't want to go anywhere else. They made it sound so much... They really made it sound like I gotta do something first. I already did that. He forgot the reason. And there's nothing else there. I have to move then. Alright, let me save the game. I'll figure it out, but for now I'm gonna end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!